Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Del Stoma here, and today we're going to take a look at Air Hauler 2, which has just been released for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 earlier this week or late last week. I forget exactly when. I've played Air Hauler 2 before in X-Plane 11, never played it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Something that I really love about it is that it actually gives you a purpose to perform flights. You're not just flying flights for nothing, but you actually have routes that you need to fly and all that. So today we're going to take a look at maybe starting a passenger airline, or maybe a cargo airline. Actually, we'll take a look at starting a cargo airline. So if you can see here, I'm just going to hit new company. This is the correct path. And next, company name is going to be Del Stoma Airways. My pilot handle is Captain Stoma. My name is Del Stoma. Go to the next window. We're going to start medium. 50% reputation, $500,000 in a Cessna 208 Caravan. Since I haven't really ever done this before, so we're just going to fly some cargo routes that way. I like to fly out of inexpensive airports, and we're going to go KJYO. That's my home airport. That's our airport. Hit next. I don't want to fly super long flights. I don't want huge loads yet. I'm fine with all this, and you can always change these settings later. I'm fine with having more jobs. You don't have to do them, but it is nice to have the options. Yep, shorter distance. All that looks great. And that's it. We're ready to go. We're going to open up our first company. As you can see down here, I've achieved the rank of wannabe. My new salary is $0. I do not have a type rating for this aircraft. Take the type rating test now. Yep, may as well. There's a new pop-up window here that you probably can't see, and it's just asking me if I want to add a type rating, which type of aircraft I want to add it for, and we're going to choose the C208 because that's the only aircraft I own right now. The test cost is $1,132.90. In order to attain this type rating, you will need to complete a short test flight within given limits. That's something that's really cool about this add-on, is that you have to have type ratings for your aircraft type. So anytime you buy a new aircraft, you have to get that type rating. Once you're able to hire pilots, you're going to have have them get the type ratings as well for the aircrafts that they will be flying. I think that's pretty clever. So we're gonna pay and take the flight test now. So as you can see here, we're going to start, it asks us to start Microsoft Flight Simulator and set up the following flight. It's going to be a Cessna 208 Bravo. We're going to depart JYO. We're going to arrive at JYO. We can put in as much or as little fuel as we need, and there is no payload. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to switch on over. So we've got our 208 already selected. We're going to choose JYO for departure, JYO for arrival. Flight conditions, we're going to go few clouds. We're going to fly and load it in. Alrighty, here we are. I'm going to go ahead and hit ready to fly. And I'm going to go back to Air Hauler behind the scenes. I'm just going to hit OK on that. Let's see, I am connecting to the sim. I'm going to go ahead and connect my yoke to the sim as well.
Kilo Juliet, Yankee Oscar, traffic Cessna Foxtrot Delta, X-ray Golf Sierra, taking off runway 17 straight out departure.
Standby turned up. Get the backlights turned up. Gonna get our parking brake turned off. We got our flaps set 50. Rudder's tested. So let's go ahead, Bring our throttle up here. And see that tip says taxi and takeoff. Oh, add just a touch of right rudder. Now, something that is a disadvantage of this airport is it's not the longest runway ever. It's long enough in most cases. Let's go ahead and take off here. "10 degrees nose up." Let's see what the sim wants us to do next.
Yankee Oscar, traffic Cessna, Foxtrot, Delta, X-Ray Golf, Sierra 1 mile south 1,000 feet inbound to land runway 35. Kilo Juliet, Yankee Oscar, traffic Cessna, Foxtrot, Delta, X-Ray Golf, Sierra, is on final runway 35 to land.
Well, we're on our way up. Let's get our flaps up. Gain some speed so we can get to altitude a little bit faster. This over here is Beaver Dam Reservoir. This over here is Washington Dulles International Airport. That's the Potomac River. DC's somewhere over here, District of Columbia. Here we are, 3,300 feet. Had to help it out there the rest of the way. We're leveled at 3,300. Want to turn onto heading 209. We're in my office. We have a jobs map. We can create passenger routes once we get into passenger flying. We can open up new bases, purchase new aircraft, and manage and repair current aircraft. Hire and manage pilots and deal with operations. So let's look at cargo jobs first. And you can see we get this map here that that gives us some options. Yellow, I believe, is outgoing from... Oh, no, it's incoming. Let's see. Out is green. Yellow is incoming. So if we do this flight to KHLG, you'll see that it's actually coming from KHLG, but we can go to 80H7. I'm not sure where that is. 1,291 pounds of cosmetics for $16,000. That's not bad. Let's see. We can also go up here to KZER with 1,586 pounds of fertilizer. That's not bad either. 14,000, 28,000. I like that. I like 28,000. Let's see, we can go down here. 14,000. So what we're trying to do is find the smallest load for the most amount of money. 1291 for 16,000 seems to be the shortest. It's only 177 nautical miles. We'll probably go ahead and accept that job. We're not going to fly it right this second. We're going to accept it so it stays there. You can create passenger routes. which I have none. We can create ad hoc flights. There are also missions, guys. We don't have any yet because we don't have any clients. Actually, we have a client, but she doesn't have any missions for us. There are also humanitarian missions. There are none available. We look at radar. This shows us who else is flying using Air Hauler 2 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And not too many people. Not too many. That's all right. Looks like a lot over there in Europe, but not too many here, which makes sense because it's the middle of the workday here. I'm filming this on a Friday around lunchtime. Let's see, if we come over here to our company information, we can manage our bases. We only have JYO, but we can open a base, we can close a base, activate, deactivate bases. We can also manage our fleet. Currently, we only have the 208B Caravan, but we can fly this aircraft ourselves, or we can hire a pilot to fly it to a different location. You can see here we're at 100% on the condition. There's no damage to the aircraft. You've got 49.7 hours to the A check, 99.7 hours to the B check, 299.7 hours to the C check. It doesn't look like they have D check in this. We have no cargo on board, no passengers on board, but it gives you all that information. Pretty good stuff. Pilots and ops. We don't have any pilots right now. We have information on our airlines, our reputations, holding steady at 50% reputation. This must have been creating the business, 50%. We got our company logo. I don't actually have any. That's all right. We'll come up with one. Our office brings us back to here, and then personal info. I have $0. I have the C208 type rating. That's for the Caravan. I don't have a personal fleet. I have my flight log here, though. This was not a passenger flight. This was a cargo flight. I've only visited KJYO, and I don't have... Oh, look, I've got an entrepreneur and first haul achievements. That's pretty cool. Let's come on over here to virtual airline. We don't actually have a virtual airline, but we can join a virtual airline and link it here. This is pretty cool. You can build factories at your different bases and create your own supply chain, making money that way. Supply and demand kind of stuff. Marketplace, you can buy aircraft. You can hire a pilot. Looks like they're actually reasonably priced. And then we can purchase used aircraft. We can purchase whatever we want, but then we have to fly it back to where we are, right? And I would imagine that means we can also put our aircraft up for sale. I don't think there's anything on here. Yeah, over $1 million. There's nothing we need to purchase here. Come over here to management. This would be for if we have any third-party aircraft that we've loaded in, we would have to import that aircraft into this program, and it will populate all this data for us. We can import custom airports, import custom scenery, and that brings us back to my office. So anyways, guys, that kind of goes through everything there. Let's see, cargo jobs and passenger routes. Let's go ahead to our accepted jobs and let's fly this. We're going to go from JYO to 80H7, which is East Palestine. It looks like it's right outside of Youngstown. Would be the closest probably landmark there. So it should be some pretty scenic flying. Looks like we're flying over Pittsburgh, over Cumberland, which is nice, over Charlestown, this whole area over here. I do a lot of flying over here. Should be very nice. Here we go. This is the cargo haul or loading menu that you get when you prepare to start a flight. So we're going to go ahead and load all 1,291 pounds of cosmetics on board here. I want to have enough fuel. Let's see. The flight's 177 nautical miles. We currently have a range of 500. I'm going to add a little bit more fuel on here. I know it's going to cost us money. That's okay. I want to keep about 1,000 pounds of available capacity, but I want to make sure that we have enough fuel to get back in case we can't refuel at East Palestine, 80H7. All right, so we went ahead and loaded our cargo. We're loading new fuel. All you have to do is drag the slider bar over, and then when you hit OK, that will complete the transaction. It was $273.68 and 370 pounds of fuel. All right, so we'll go ahead and do our flight planning. It's going to be an IFR flight at 8,000 feet. We're going to start at number one ramp. You can do a kneeboard briefing, shows what the landing fees are at Leesburg, how long the runways are, 5,491 feet, plenty long enough. We'll be taking off runway 17. Morris Field in East Palestine. Let's see, their longest runway is 2,000 feet. It's going to be tight, but it'll be fine. We'll go around if we need to. Fuel is very expensive there, so I'm glad that we filled up here in Washington, but landing fees are very cheap. So let's come back over here to flight planning. We're going to accept the route and fly, and again we get the Start Flight Simulator pop-up. All right, here we go. World map. JYO, I want to make sure we set to one ramp. Let's see, weight and balance. So we need to set the fuel to 1356. We'll watch the weight down here. $1371 is close enough. And then our payload is going to be 1,461. There we go, 1463, close enough. And that should be fine there. We are going to 80H7. Let's see, 80H7, which is Morris Field. Sure, runway 1, why not? We're going to go ahead and go with our low altitude airways. Real flight conditions. Oh, this is a grass runway. Oh, how interesting. All right. Well, grass landings are fun. All right, we are ready to fly. Looks like we got some low-level clouds, but nothing we can't handle. Let's go ahead and connect. We are connected from Air Hauler 2. We are connected. Let's see, I need to get my yoke connected as well. Oh, no, we're already connected. Great. And guys, I'm using a Precision Flight Controls Cirrus CL jetliner force feedback remote, or not remote, yoke, which is, it's really nice having that force feedback in flight simulators. It gives it just a little bit more of a realistic feeling. And then for my throttle quadrant, I've got the Honeycomb Aeronautical Bravo throttle quadrant. I just received, I believe it was also last week that I just received it. So I've got it set up to mimic the pedestal here. And we can also reverse. All right, let's get this started up. We're gonna come on over here and get our battery turned on. Get our avionics 1 on. Which should carry us through ignition. We're waiting for the TAWS test to finish up here. And we're gonna go ahead and set both fuels
system
on.
Test. Okay.
Can we open Windows yet? No, we cannot. That's disappointing. It's all right. All right, our TAWS test was completed. We're gonna go ahead and set our altimeter to 3035 by pressing the B key. And set fuel boost to normal. Our ignition is set to normal. We're going to go ahead and start the aircraft. Let's go with our starter motor on. You know what, I just realized we should have our avionics 2 on, since all of our engine information happens on this display. Go there. All right. So we're down to 0 for oil PSI. Everything looks good to start. Let's get our starter on. We're going to watch our numbers increase. Let's get our numbers stable. And then we're going to bring our mixture up. Our oil pressure is almost in the green. Oil pressure is in the green. Oil temperature is in the green. Let's see, our RPM is climbing up to the green. RPM's in the green. Everything's in the green. All right, we're doing great here. Oh, probably should have turned on our beacon and our nav lights. Good. Everything here is looking good. So let's go ahead, call up clearance and get our clearance.
Potomac clearance delivery DST-1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 IFR to 8 Oscar Hotel 7 ready to copy.
DST-1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 is cleared to 8 Oscar Hotel 7 airport as filed. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 126.1 squawk tree 617. Clearance point 30 minutes from now.
7. Let's go ahead and read it back.
DST-1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 cleared to 8 Oscar Hotel 7 airport as filed. Climb and maintain
we're going to set to altitude reporting, and it'll automatically turn it on and off. We're going to climb to
clearance void 30 minutes from now.
DST-1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 read back
8,000 feet. Which is up here, that's right. 8,000 feet. Nope, that's 800. We're gonna go to 8,000 on the altimeter. There we go, 8,000 feet on the altimeter. We're gonna hit, we're gonna set our CDI to GPS. And that will follow the flight plan. Let's get our wind up, option 3. And then we're gonna go with the ARC HSI. We have no wind data right now, probably because we're not up in the air. Let's go ahead and get our all that stuff on. We're gonna get our taxi light on, get our wing light on, set this to normal, and let's go ahead and get our fans on and heat on. Set AC to ventilate. We have all our heat on there. Here we are. Let's taxi. Let's go to traffic and announce taxi.
Kilo Juliet Yankee Oscar traffic DST-1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 is taxiing to runway 35.
And here we go. We're gonna taxi and take off. And it says here we are taxiing to runway 35, but we're actually going to taxi to runway 17. Now it does indeed say that there's another plane on here, but I don't see it. Let's see here. Select runway for takeoff. 17. Taxiing to 17.
Kilo Juliet Yankee Oscar traffic DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 is taxiing to runway 17.
Let's go ahead and get flaps set to 50 for takeoff. We're looking good, guys. This is going to be a good flight. All right.
Kilo Juliet Yankee
Got our
Oscar
strobe
traffic
on.
DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1
There we
taking off
go.
runway 17 departure to the
No
west.
smoking, seatbelts on. Seems like there's no one else here at the airport. Got our propeller set to max. Use up as much runway as we can. And here we go. Full throttle. Little bit of right rudder, not too much. Bring our throttle back a little bit, make sure everything stays in the green. Everything is in the green. All right, here we go. 75 and rotate. And here we go. Let's go ahead and get our autopilot turned on. We are clear of the runway. Let's go ahead and switch. Potomac departure.
Departure DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 is climbing through 700 feet for 8,000 feet.
DST 1 Delta Sierra
Flaps up.
Tango 1 Potomac departure. Continue to talk as planned. Altimeter tree 0.35.
3035 set.
DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 keep speed below 210 knots.
We will keep our speed below 210 knots.
Keep speed below 210 knots DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1.
Seems like we're hitting some turbulence here. Keeping my hands on the yoke to minimize its effect. We're over 1,000 feet. We're gonna go ahead and get power turned on here in the cabin. So long, Leesburg. Again with the turbulence. Nope, nope, we want our altitude up at 8,000. Whew. That was a big one. Alright, I guess we're going to vertical speed mode.
DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 please expedite.
1,000 feet up.
8,000 feet.
See if we can't bring our throttle up a little more. That's too much. And we're going to back off to 800 feet per minute. Maintain airspeed here. At 4,000 feet. Looks like we've already got some icing. Hopefully the rest of the aircraft doesn't ice up like this does. You know, it's interesting though that we have icing. Let's turn off AC and see if that helps at all. Because I do have bleed heat on, bleed air. Looks like we're getting a little bit of ice on the aircraft itself. We're going to keep it on the airframe for now. We really want to make sure that we don't gain too much weight in ice. There they are.
400 feet generic. Report them in sight.
We have them in sight.
Skywest 3955, please expedite your descent to 10,000 feet. DST-1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 have the generic in sight.
Washington Center Delta 73 is at flight level 355, descending 10,000 feet.
Delta 73 Washington Center, continue as planned.
Alright, we're at our cruising altitude of about 8,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and lean out the engine a little bit. See if we can't reduce our fuel usage a little bit. And let's bring back our prop RPM a little bit so we're just maintaining our speed. Looks like we're taking care of the ice issue pretty well. Shouldn't be a problem for much of the rest of the flight.
643 is out of flight level 235 for 10,000 feet.
Alright, looks like we're getting pretty close here to our destination. Let's see, do we have any approaches that we can... Nope, there are none. Alright. I believe we are still ice-free. That is correct. I hope that's just a cloud and not a mountain.
descend and maintain 3,300 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,300 feet. DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1.
We're almost at our altitude of 3,300 feet. We're clear of the clouds, no ice, a little bit of ice. Not enough for it to be a huge concern though.
At Oscar Hotel 7 traffic, DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 8 miles southeast inbound visual runway 1. At Oscar Hotel 7 traffic, DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 is on final runway 1 to land.
We're gonna go ahead and bring all our speeds back. Bring it back to idle. Well, that didn't help, but evidently I just flew over it. Oh. Okay. Then let's get autopilot off. I have controls.
At Oscar Hotel 7 traffic, DST 1 Delta Sierra Tango 1 flying the missed approach.
Bring it around this way. Trim the nose down a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna bring it back around.
Minimums.
We're at minimums. Obviously, we don't want to stall at this point, so we are still watching our speed. Going idle.
40, 30, 20, 10.
All right. Now I'm not quite sure where parking is, but we're gonna go ahead and taxi on down here to the end. Get our flaps up, landing lights off, strobe off. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get our parking brake on. We're going to get our taxi light off, our strobe off. There we go. We'll go ahead and get our anti-ice off. Get all of these set off. Back to normal. Go ahead and get our seatbelt sign off. Smoking always stays off. Let's go ahead and bring back our mixture. Alright guys, that was a pretty good flight. It was an okay landing, but it was a good flight. We're gonna go ahead and get our starter set to off. Fuel to off. Let's go ahead and... oh, look at that ice. Get our fuel selector valve set to off. And get our beacon off. Go ahead and turn our avionics off. And let's turn off our battery. There we go. We got flaps up. We are parked. We're good to go. All right, so we're back here in Air Hauler 2. We can see exactly where we are. Let's see, I guess that's the highway. That's the turnpike there. But we can see exactly where we are, our current position. We're going to go ahead to cargo/fuel loading /unloading. And we are at 80H7. We're going to go ahead and unload our cargo. We're officially a trucker. We'll hit OK. And that's it, guys. In-flight message log. Okay, flight monitoring options. Well, don't need to do that. So we can go ahead and finish our flight monitoring. And we're gonna get some results up here. Our flight time was 1 hour 17 minutes. Our max pitch was down 8 degrees. Our max roll was 34 degrees. In probably to the right since it's positive. Never stalled, never went over speed. Landing description was okay. Our landing gear was down because it's immovable. We got grass. Looks like we have a little bit of damage on the aircraft, so we'll have to take a look at that. And other than that, we're good. We're gonna go ahead and finish our flight monitoring. And I'm not sure why the map took me to the middle of the ocean, but this should show us actually over here at 80H7, not at I hope you all enjoyed it. If you think I deserve it, please give me a thumbs up on this video. Hit subscribe. I'd really love to have you as a subscriber. Help me grow this community of simmers and gamers who just like to have fun and hang out. So yeah, that's where we're at, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And see you next time. Later.